Morning, my loves. How are we? How are we? Are we well? Let's get up to speed. It's always the interesting bit, watching me do technology. Let's whiz that down. Are you okay, Debs? Hope nothing too serious. Michelle, Debs, what's the matter? Tell us if you can. Morning, Michelle. Morning, Anna. Debs, AJ, BB, Sammy J. Ian, morning, my love. Sue, how you doing, Suze? AJ, where did you hear about Anton this Friday? What am I doing this Friday? Am I supposed to be somewhere? Oh my God, tell me. Oh, did it? Oh, right. What am I doing on Friday this morning then? I might not have Paso Doble music this morning, I'm afraid, Sue. It might be a pre-record, all that. Valerie, morning, my love. Deborah, Josie. Lee, Arizona Lee, our favourite American student. How you doing, my love? 30 press-ups as well, going for the record. Frankie, morning, my love. Frankie and Sabine. Cynthia. Gillian, morning, my love. Elizabeth, hello, my love. Sean, morning, everyone. Kate Rowe. I am able to see this live today. We're doing Paso Doble. It's terrific. I can't wait. I've got a step for you. I've got a great step in Paso Doble because we can use it in Coney Teo. Morning, all. Morning, my love. Victoria, hello, my love. We can use this variation in the Paso Doble, but also, oh, hang on, I've got to scroll right way down. Lauren P, hello. Sharon. Ellen, hello, my love. Alan PW, morning, my love. Maddie, morning, my love. We can use all of the. Oh, I've got a couple of questions to answer as well. We've got a couple of. This variation is a great variation because it's called the fall away reverse. Now it's a terrific. It's only eight steps, but we can use it in all the ballroom. Well, the tango, we use it in foxtrot, we use it in waltz. Fall away slip pivot we call. And it's brilliant. So we're going to do that. It's much more like the tango variation, actually, the fall-away reverse in Paso Doble, because the way the tango is what we call a pick up and place dance. So you pick up the foot, and if you want to do a turn, for example, rather than stand and pivoting on the foot, here like this, you would pick up, you'd turn the foot in, and then you'd step off it. And there's only a small amount of pivoting in the feet. I mean, that would be the tradition of the tango, but essentially everyone's pivoting their feet, and that's fine. Everything's evolves. But the two dances, actually tango and Paso Doble, are quite closely related in the choreography and the style of the dance. Both of them being a slightly more marchy dance, although the tango has evolved over the years. But it's to do with flight. Neither dance wants body flight, and you get body flight by driving off the standing leg and thrusting yourself forwards in a forceful manner. We love it when that happens. And you balance this by rising onto the ball of the feet and going up and swaying. Well, those things don't exist in tango. You walk off the standing leg and you turn. That's the history of the dance. And the Paso Doble is the same. You have this wonderful sort of thrusting position with the hips. I mean, the hips are carried really quite forward. So if you were to stand still like this, turn your feet out slightly and push your hips forward, you feel that your thighs slightly roll out. Now for the man, as you're doing a Paso Doble, you want to sort of keep that sensation the whole way through. The ladies don't really do that. They do have that shaping through the legs, through the hips, but their legs don't stay turned out. They still bring the knee forward. It's much more feminine way of walking. So that can introduce a slight hip action as well for the lady. But the two actions for boy and girl in Paso Doble are very different, more so than any of the other Latin dances. That's another good point about the Paso Doble. Look at me, I'm full of it today. Now, Pamela, morning, my love. Amber Louise, good morning, my love. Barb's, morning, how's that, Roy? A horrendous water leak. Oh, horrific. Water leaks are disasters, they ruin everything. Yes, Michelle, thank you. So let's do the variation. It's called fall-row reverse. Now we'll start. Now we're going to take this here. I'm going to do it this way. This is the line of dance, so I'm going in this direction. So I start facing the line of dance here like this. Now I step backwards on my right foot. I'm going to do boy steps first. I go back on the right foot, 1. I step forward on my left foot, 2. I step forward and to the side on 3. I step backwards on 4. I step backwards and turn on 5. I step forward on 6. I step to the side on 7. And I close my feet for 8, facing the line of dance. So I start and finish in the same direction. That's great. I'll put this down and I'll do that again for you here. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the whole thing turns to my left for the boy. So I go and 1, back on the right foot, forward on the left foot. Step to the side and slightly back on the right foot. Step backwards on the left foot here. Now I'm in a sort of backward promenade position really because we're both facing in that direction, but that will come clear when I show you the girl steps. And now I'm sort of turning my right foot in and under me as though I'm going to do a pivoting action here. But I'm not going to really pivot. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to slip the foot in slightly so it goes like that. It's what we call slipping the foot into yourself. That's why it's called a slip pivot, because once I've slipped the foot in and under, I pivot on it. But I'm not going to do the pivoting part, so it's just a backward step with a slipping action there. And then I step onto it. I step forward on my left foot towards the lady. If I'm over here, I'll step forward over here. I step to the side on my right foot, and I close my left foot to my right foot. So those are the boy steps. The girls do the natural opposite in this. So I'm going to go forward, back on the right foot, back on the left foot, back on the right foot. I'm now in promenade. Well, I have been for all of that really. So for myself, the boy gets into promenade on the third step. And then I'm going to step forward. It's like fantastic balance. So as I'm staying on that right foot here, I step forward on the left foot here. I'm going to shuffle back. I continue to step backwards on the right foot. I step to the side on the left foot, and I close my right foot to my left foot. So one more time, I go forward, back, 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 forward, keep turning back, side, together. Now, because we're dancing apart, we're not in ballroom hold, we are in closed hold, and we are quite close in actual fact. I mean, if you want to have if you want to have contact through the bodies in this step here, do. You can dance it with a space, or you can dance it quite dramatically closed. Yum, ba, bi, ba, step, step, side, close. So you can do it, you can give it a bit of a tango feel, really, but with your legs up, you're higher in the legs. For the ladies here, your arm will be over the man's arm and round his sort of shoulder. So it's that very, very old style sort of tango feel with the right arm up here. So I step forward my left foot, forward, back, 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 and I just follow the man's turn here. So we're just mirroring each other's fronts. So where I go, she goes, and vice versa. Where she goes, I go. But there's no real pivoting in the feet. They're all steps. So I don't have to stand, pivot, and step forward. You only have to do that sort of thing when you're dancing really close. The closer you get, the more you'll feel you'll need to pivot. So we go one more time for the girls. So we go step, back, 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 forward, back, side, close. Now I did a couple of slight pivots on the feet. Now when we talk about pivoting on the foot, what I mean is this. When I place the foot here, I'll put it on the toe. When I place the foot here, or a ball of a foot here, I'm then going to watch my foot, I do that. And I can step from it. Gives you a nicer leg line, makes the turns a bit easier as well. So I go step, pivot, back. It's an important thing in ballroom dancing that I never think it's discussed enough really. I think it's like one of the most important things in ballroom dancing. Is that pivoting on the ball of the foot. I think it's one of those things you sort of take for granted, but you actually have to learn how to do properly. That will be done on step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on step 5 is where ladies will have a bit of a foot pivot, really. Boys, you don't really do it. Fall-way reverse. Look at that. We ploughed through that quick as a flash, did we not? Pamela. Anton, message from Keith Clifton. Right, stand by your beds. Here we go. Pamela, thank you. Thank you so very much. My pleasure. We're grateful that you have joined us. Give Anton our love. He's a lovely guy. You see, Keith and Judy Clifton, they are gorgeous. You send them my love when you see them next. Lovely, lovely couple. And their daughter, Joanne, is one of the, I've probably said this in the past, the best ballroom dancer ladies I've ever danced with. Ever. She is brilliant. Brilliant. I love dancing with Joanne Clifton. She's brilliant. Irene, morning my love. Question, does anyone ever do a square tango nowadays, or is it too boring for the majority? Well, not really. I mean, I remember doing a square tango about 1,000 years ago, and it's lovely, but once you've learned it, you've learned it. But the square tango, you can incorporate stuff of it. I can't remember how to do it now, something like that. You can incorporate it though in a bit of a routine. I know people that have done sort of half a square tango. They've taken part of it here and they've gone into something else. And it's a lovely sort of feel, the old square tango. But yeah, it's one of those things that has been sort of not used. I mean, it's a lovely way to start. And then you sort of go on from there. Who is Keith Clifton? Kevin Clifton's father. Keith and Judy Clifton are the Clifton's parents. Kevin and Joanne Clifton's parents. Great dancers in their day, actually. So, yes, there you are. I've got another question, hang on. Frankie, as pivot is that important, can you inspire us with a simple routine for day exercise? Ah, right, yes, okay, well, I'll have a think about that, Frankie, and I'll put something together for you, for the little foot pivots here, foot pivots here, foot pivots here, foot pivots here. So we'll put together something that requires a number of foot pivoting actions. I'll try and remember that for Friday, we'll put something together. The key to a pivot though with the feet, just very briefly, the reason why we pivot the feet is because we don't want the legs to open too far. So as I step here, if I don't pivot the foot and I need to get over there, I end up in this sort of position. This is a disaster. So what I need to do is I need to stand on the foot and pivot on it here, and then I can step straight backwards. And my legs stay in a nice position, you see. So it's very important, the old foot position, the old pivoting action in the feet. Now, my balance is all over the place. Michelle. Valerie, it's not just me, the balance issues, I'm pleased to see. Well, Valerie, no, but you've got to place the feet under your body. So as you go step, 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 you've got one of them, you've got to step onto it, side, close. Posture is everything, of course, we all know that. Posture is everything. Must maintain a lovely posture. Oh, well, that's good to know, Gillian. Paso Doble. Paso Doble is a great dance. I like Paso Doble because, well, we've discussed it in the past, but I love the fact it's got a strong narrative. Sometimes when you're sort of trying to do something a bit sort of interesting and provocative with your body and the whole thing is starting to give it all that and you're trying to really work the body, the whole thing seems a bit senseless, to be honest with you. You need a narrative. And when you get a narrative and then you can shape the body, you can get a picture in your mind. I mean, it depends on your type, really. I mean, I like to have pictures in my mind. Some good, some bad, you know how it is. But so it depends how you love Ruth Paso. Thank you, Anya. We like a big ending. Now, I've got a couple of questions here. Where are they? Where are they? Oh, hello. What's that? Right, here you go. Let me just read this out loud. I find question ahead, no comment section in the I tweeted it in our chat in a live stream. The second figure in our class choreography. Would that technically be referred to as 2 times chasses to left with step 5 sway to right and counter promenade hold? To be honest with you, Frankie, I don't know. I can't remember what that is. So let me look into that. I'm just seeing that now. So I'll have to have a look back on that because I can't remember what we discussed. But leave it with me. Kate Rowe, birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Kate. Hope you have a lovely, lovely day. I've got one here. Questions. Oh yes, here it is. Lee, my love, you asked a question about the 16. If I understand it correctly, the man walks forward. So we appel. 1. Forward in promenade position. 2. We are in promenade position. We continue to walk forward in promenade position on step 3. I step across her path on step 4, here like this, as she steps forward between my feet, and I'm shaping to the right, so I'm shaping towards her. Now, step 5 is straight back, step 6 is straight back, step 7 is to the side, we close the feet on 8. And then the lady is doing all that, sloshing across me. Yes, you have got it. Lying back and forth in order to do the cape passes. Have I got it? Yes, that's how we do it. Maxing drive question. Eventually drives, eventually dance on the balls of feet. Yes, it is. With this in mind, is it best for the lady to wear flat or very low heels shoes in order to execute this dance to its best? The thing about wearing high heels in jive, if you've got high heels and you're trying to keep your heel off the ground, you're definitely going to be on the balls of your feet. It's really interesting, actually, watching the pro girls when they're practicing or rehearsing, and they've got either sort of dance trainers on or training shoes, whatever it is. They don't have dance shoes on, so they don't have heels. So in flats, they all dance on their toes. They all still dance on their toes. They never put the heel down. So even though they've got flats on, they never just plonk a heel down. They're always still dancing on their toes. So they might as well be wearing 3-inch heels for the difference it makes. So yes, you're quite right. You can wear either, really, to be honest with you. Keep the heels on because it looks nicer, I think. But whatever feels comfortable for you. But yeah, you don't put the heel down. Ya ba ba, ya ba ba. Back step here. You put the heel down on the back step. Back step. But the girls don't really. They go back step. They does the whole thing on the toes. It's just one of those things. Once you get the heel down, sometimes it can be difficult to get off the heel. And 2, if you don't put the heel down, your weight won't drop back. So if you don't do it well, the weight will drop back. So if you just do it, if you keep the on the toes, the weight's always forward, which means you're going to be light, excuse me, bright and quick. You're going to be fast, which is very, very important for jive. So those are the 2 questions I wanted to come back to. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at that. That's that. Oh yeah, yeah. Body bow. I have 2 questions about Victoria. How many pivots are there in a Paso? I knew it would be a spinny one. You love a spin. And can you wish my mum Suzanne get well soon? She's hurt her foot. Suzanne, you don't know Amber, do you? I hope you get well soon, my love, and I hope your foot isn't too badly damaged. Yes, Alan, you're absolutely right. The pair of them are lovely. Keith and Judy, absolutely lovely. I've known them for about 150 years. They're absolutely lovely. How many pivots are there in the Paso Doble? Well, essentially, again, the action, there's only a left pivot and a right pivot on the foot. So you're going to pivot this way, or you're going to pivot this way, here. So you're going to pivot one way or the other. You get variations on the theme of that, and also you use pivots like that in variations. So, so in a step, you'll use a pivoting action, like for example, we have here the fall away reverse. The reverse is also a slip pivoting action. Certainly in the ballroom dances, it will be. It doesn't say that in the technique of the Paso Doble version, but it is a reversing variation. So there is an element of pivot on the lady's foot in order to get round and make it look nice. So there isn't, you have a little bit of a pivoting action within the combination as well. So, but essentially there are two types of pivot, left pivot and right pivot. What they call natural and reverse. Can you do the pivot steps again, please, Deborah? Yes, my love, I certainly can. I'm going to step forward my left foot. Go forward, then go back on the right, back on the left, back on the right, and then I'm going to step forward, back, side, close. Does that make sense? Boys, you're going to do that for opposite. You go back on the right foot, step, step, step. So how many steps is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 5, the lady turns into me. 5, 6, 7, 8. So on that moment there, this is the crucial bit. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm here, but on 5, I now go here. And the boy does that little slip variation. So I step between his feet. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we just keep going on after that. So step number 5 is the crucial one. Are there any turns in the Paso Doble? This is a question from Mads. Hey Mads. Well, yes, everything's a turn, really. I mean, you have turns, you have spins, you have pivots. It's those combinations of those things. I mean, this could be a turning variation because anything that starts one way, goes round and ends up another way is essentially a turn. A turn is often something we do over a period of steps, over a sequence of steps. So you could describe everything as a turn. Someone described all movement is curvilinear. This is talking about ballroom dancing. Sort of a made up expression, but essentially we rarely dance flat straight lines like this. Paso Doble you might do. This would be a straight step here into the separation, but we're apart, so, and also we're making a dramatic position here, re, da, di. So it's all a sort of acting out something dramatic. But so yeah, essentially anything that goes from one position to face another position or going through positions, even to a situation where I start line dance and I end line of dance, but through the 8 steps I've turned round, that would be considered a turn. As leader and never change shoes. Frank, I just have to take a moment to read your question sometimes. As leader, a never change shoes. Do you change ballroom shoes in Latin shoes as men for that uphill effect? I haven't worn a Cuban heel for a considerable amount of time. So I don't change heels, no. I tend to use the same shoe. Yeah, the Cuban heel thing, I think my days of a Cuban heel have probably passed. I mean, the Cuban heel thing really is only there for effect, and the whole thing about the Cuban heel was it was introduced in about when was it now? There was one great man, sadly passed away now, bit eccentric, but a great dancer, and he introduced a heel because he loved the Spanish style. So he used a Cuban heel in those days, like a Latin boot in those days, but it was essentially a flamenco shoe with a heel, because he liked the way it looked, he liked the style, liked the way it looked, and it looked great in the Paso Doble. It didn't look great in the other dances, but that whole effect looked amazing, it looked very authentic. It became a staple shoe for male dancers through the years, that in the Latin dances you wore a Cuban heel, and in the ballroom dances you wore just a normal ballroom shoe. There's no technical reason for having it. It's just become one of those things. I don't like flat though. I don't like sort of jazz shoes because I think you need a heel of some sort, just to give the foot a bit more definition, really. Yeah, no, there's no sort of technical reason to have a Cuban heel. There are a lot of sort of moral reasons for not having one. So, I'm only kidding. What have we got here? Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, Frankie's always more ballroom orientated. Well, of course you are, Frankie. Seem like a sensible chap. Can we send you a birthday card? You can tell me, it's not until July, but you're more than welcome. Thank you very much. Definitely struggling with the Paso Doble, Michelle. Never. And returns, did that one there. Please never leave Strictly. Ellie, I'm not leaving Strictly, ever. I like to think they can't do it without me, but then I would say that. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Bruno swears by Cubanio, but yeah, Bruno's only 5'2". My loves, my loves, my loves, my loves. Thank you very much. No more questions. So bless you all. Thank you very much. That there is the 4-0 reverse. We had a bit more pivot on the slip pivot part, and you've got a ballroom dance as well. So thank you all very much indeed. Well done. Marvellous. And I'll see you later today if you're around for our 6 o'clock session. Oh, hopefully it won't be too long. Much love.